I'm here with Blanca at the KLove Fan Awards. First of all, beautiful performance.
Thank you.
Can you just tell me a little bit about how that came together with you and Dante?
Oh my goodness. So I wrote this song during the pandemic. So wrote it over Zoom, and I remember writing it and being like, it would be pretty amazing if I could get Dante on this song. Just because like his stuff with Mav and even his own stuff had walked me through just like a really tough season. And so I wrote him on Instagram
No.
and asked him if he would be a part of
You
this song.
slide into his DMs.
But
it
in
works in the
the
most
best,
pure way, in
purest
the most
way.
faith-filled way possible.
Yes, I hit him up and I was like, I have a song and I would love for you to be a part of it. And he wrote back and said, send it and let me hear it. So I was like, all right. I sent him the demo, and then we were at the Dove Awards last year and I interviewed him. And during the interview, he said, everyone look out for a song that I have coming out with Blanca next year. I was like,
That was how he told you?
That was how he told me it was a yes. So I was like, I guess I'm doing a song with Dante Bowe. So it was such a full circle moment to like, the song's all about healing kind of from that place that I was in. And then the full circle moment, like being with Dante on the song and having him sing it with me was like, this is just surreal. And so like God, you know, to make it all come together.
Well, I was going to say, it rings true. You couldn't write that way if you hadn't lived that way. How, as a songwriter and then as a performer, do you discern this is for me or this is from God for others? Where does that come into play?
Honestly, for me, it's like I always just try to be as honest and as vulnerable with my songs. So a lot of the times they come from my own personal journey. And then it's not until the song's finished that I'm like, oh, this was meant for something so much bigger than just my own kind of healing and restoration process. So songs like that, like Healing, I have a song called Even at My Worst that was like written out of like just walking through a time where I was like, I don't know what is happening with my life. I know this is not what I've imagined it to be. But then looking back now and seeing the stories and people just writing in on what that song has meant to them, I was like, it just nothing is wasted. Like the Lord takes it all and is like, oh, you thought that was the story? I'm going to use it for so much more.
And how edifying that must be to say, like, I did what I can do, and now you're releasing it and let God do his work.
Yep.
Congratulations. Can we just talk about the hair game?
Oh,
Like, you are my hair envy right now. Like, where do you get all the ideas, all the thoughts?
I'm always like, I don't know. I find it to be my personal duty as a Latina out here in these streets, to just kind of push the boundaries and do things that are a little edgy and different. And so I have so many like fashion inspirations, and so I save it all on like my Pinterest board. And then I make my hairstylist and makeup artist. I'm like, so you're gonna attempt this today? And they're like, okay, let's do it.
I love it. So let me ask one more, if we can get, you went real. Like, there's not a lot of women that look like you in Christian music.
Yeah.
Do you feel that as, I mean, you just said, you know, you want to step out, but how do you on a day-to-day basis, do you feel like this is your moniker to show what it is to be a strong Latina that believes in Jesus, or does it feel overwhelming sometimes to have to be that, you know, that person?
I feel like it can feel overwhelming in the sense of like you feel misunderstood sometimes.
Sure.
Like just walking into a room, you're like, okay, I look different, or my roots are different, my heritage is different, and so I have to kind of explain it to people here. But I think from the stance of like being a face for other Latina women, or even the girls that are to come, for them to know like, hey, this is what I want to do. She kind of does it in the way that I would want to, and she's creating a lane, because we don't have a reference. Like really outside of me and maybe just like a handful of others, there's really not in our industry a lot of Latin women represented. So I feel like it's my honor to be able to be one of the faces for that.
Well, thank you. I want to encourage you because you speak to my daughter, and if you could just say something to the young women out there, Latina or non-Latina, that are saying, I want to do that. I want to have the boldness to wear my hair the way it's natural, or to sing the songs that I'm not hearing yet. What would you say to that girl?
Oh man, I've been there. I've been in your shoes where I felt like just lost in my identity and who I was supposed to be. But I think the most beautiful thing is just owning who God has made you, with all its quirks, with all its things that make you different. Like, sometimes I have a fro. Sometimes I like to do crazy baby hairs. Like, whatever it is, but this is me. And I've never felt more freedom than when I am just myself. I don't have to put on a front. I don't have to act like I'm someone that I'm not, because all of that, it ends up catching up to you. And then you hit a point where you're like, why am I acting this way when it's not who I am with my family and friends? So I've just come to a place, and I've been doing this for a long time. And it's taken me now in this season of my life to be like, I want to be the purest version of myself, because I feel like people deserve to see that, and I deserve to do that for myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time.
Of course.